Alex, a college student with a thirst for the unknown, found himself drawn to the dark web. It wasn't just a casual interest, it was an obsession that grew with each passing day. The forbidden internet, a place of whispers and shadows, promised secrets he couldn't resist. It was a realm where the ordinary rules didn't apply, a digital underworld teeming with mystery.
He spent countless nights navigating its hidden corners, each click a step deeper into the abyss. The more he explored, the more he realized how vast and uncharted this territory was. I believed I could handle it. I was wrong. The deeper I went, the more I felt the weight of the unknown pressing down on me.
The regular internet, with its cat videos and social media, felt mundane compared to the dark web's allure. It was like comparing a child's playroom to a labyrinth filled with hidden treasures and lurking dangers. This hidden underbelly offered a glimpse into a world few dared to explore. It was a place where curiosity could lead to enlightenment or peril, and Alex was willing to take that risk. Alex, blinded by curiosity, dove headfirst into its depths. He was driven by an insatiable need to uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the shadows.
I was an explorer, charting unknown territory. Each new discovery felt like a victory, but it also came with a sense of foreboding.
One night, nestled deep within a labyrinth of encrypted sites, Alex stumbled upon a link. It was unlike anything he had seen before, standing out amidst the digital chaos. It was different, almost alive. The link seemed to pulse with an energy that was both inviting and menacing. It pulsed on the screen, beckoning him closer. It was as if the link had a life of its own, calling out to him in a silent whisper. The link was simply titled The Whispering Room. Its name was both intriguing and unsettling, a stark contrast to the garish, often disturbing content he'd encountered before. Its simplicity was unsettling, a stark contrast to the garish, often disturbing content he'd encountered before. It was as if the link was a gateway to something far more profound and mysterious. Driven by an insatiable need to know, Alex clicked. He felt a mix of excitement and dread as he awaited what lay beyond.
The screen flickered, casting eerie shadows across the room. My heart raced as I watched the monitor, anticipation and fear battling within me. My monitor displayed a loading icon unlike any I'd seen before. It was mesmerizing, almost hypnotic, drawing me in with its rhythmic pulses. It was as if the very essence of the dark web was pulling me in. I felt a connection, a bond with this digital enigma that I couldn't break. I was hooked, my fate sealed with a single click. The journey into the unknown had begun, and there was no turning back.
The loading icon vanished, replaced by an image that sent shivers down Alex's spine. It was a dark room, bare except for a single wooden chair in the center. A single flickering candle illuminated the room, casting long, dancing shadows. The air itself felt heavy, thick with anticipation.
Welcome, it hissed, each syllable laced with an unnatural chill. You seek stories, I have them.
The voice seemed to slither around him, whispering secrets meant for his ears only. Alex felt a knot of unease tighten in his stomach. He should log off, shut down his laptop, and never look back. But the voice, despite its eerie tone, held a strange allure. He was trapped both by his own curiosity and by something more sinister.
I found myself typing in response, my fingers moving with a life of their own. What kind of stories? I typed, my question echoing into the silence of my room. I couldn't explain it, but I felt compelled to engage, to delve deeper into this digital abyss.
The candlelight in the room on his screen flickered, casting grotesque shapes on the wall behind the chair. The shadows danced and twisted, creating an eerie atmosphere that seemed almost alive. The room was silent save for the occasional crackle of the candle's flame, adding to the sense of foreboding that hung in the air. A figure began to emerge from the shadows, its form indistinct and ever-shifting. It was as if the darkness itself was taking on a human form, a manifestation of the unknown that lurked in the corners of the room. The figure moved with a fluid grace, its presence both mesmerizing and terrifying. It was as if the darkness itself was taking on a human form. The figure's movements were slow and deliberate, each step echoing in the silence. It seemed to be watching, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself fully.
Stories of those who dared to venture where they did not belong, the voice whispered back, its tone laced with a chilling amusement. The words seemed to hang in the air, each one dripping with a sense of dread. The voice continued, recounting tales of those who had sought forbidden knowledge and paid the ultimate price. Stories of those who sought the dark corners of the web and found something far more sinister. The dark web, a place where the boundaries of morality and legality were blurred, where the curious often found more than they bargained for. The voice spoke of hidden forums, secret societies, and the unspeakable horrors that lay within.
Each word dripped with foreboding, a promise of horrors yet to be revealed. The stories were not just tales, but warnings, each one a testament to the dangers of delving too deep into the unknown. The eerie glow of the computer screen illuminated Alex's face, highlighting the fear in his eyes. Fear gnawed at the edges of Alex's mind, but he couldn't tear himself away. The allure of the unknown was too strong, the promise of forbidden knowledge too tempting. He felt a strange mix of dread and excitement, a pull that he couldn't resist. He was captivated, drawn in by the promise of forbidden knowledge. The stories, the voice, the figure in the shadows, all of it combined to create a sense of inevitability. He knew he was on the brink of discovering something profound, something that would change him forever. The figure leaned forward, its face still obscured by shadow. It seemed to be studying him, assessing his readiness to hear the truths it had to offer. The air grew colder, and Alex could feel the weight of the figure's gaze on him.
"Are you sure you are ready to hear them?" it hissed. The question hung in the air, a challenge that demanded an answer. The voice was both inviting and menacing, a siren call that promised both enlightenment and despair.
I hesitated, my finger hovering over the keyboard. The weight of the decision pressed down on me, the realization that there was no turning back once I committed. The stories, the figure, the voice, they all seemed to converge at this moment, urging me to take the final step. Could I handle the truth, the darkness that this entity promised to reveal? The question echoed in my mind, a constant reminder of the potential consequences. The fear was palpable, but so was the curiosity. I needed to know, even if it meant facing my deepest fears. I knew I should turn back, but the allure of the unknown was too strong to resist. The stories of those who had ventured before me, the figure in the shadows, the voice, they all called to me, urging me to continue. The glow of the computer screen seemed to pulse with anticipation, waiting for my next move. "Tell me," I typed, my heart pounding in my chest. The words appeared on the screen, a final act of defiance against the fear that threatened to consume me. I pressed enter, sealing my fate and opening the door to whatever lay beyond.
Very well. Listen closely and learn from the mistakes of others.
The shadowy figure leaned back, disappearing into the darkness once more. Only the flickering candle remained, casting an eerie glow on the empty chair.
There was once a young woman. She believed herself to be invincible, hidden behind the anonymity of the dark web. She used the dark web for profit, selling stolen information to the highest bidder. She thought she was untouchable, a ghost in the machine.
The whispering voice lowered, becoming even more menacing.
She was wrong. One day her world came crashing down. The information she stole, it belonged to someone she shouldn't have crossed. They found her, of course. They always do. They took everything from her. Her identity, her freedom, her life.
The voice paused, letting the silence hang heavy in the air. The candle in the room flickered again, its flame momentarily shrinking before returning to its eerie dance. Alex sat frozen, his breath caught in his throat. The story, though simple, sent chills down his spine. He could feel the woman's fear, her desperation, as if it were his own. The room seemed to close in on him, the shadows growing longer and more menacing with each passing second. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind outside felt like a prelude to something terrible.
But there are worse fates than a stolen life. Some delve into the dark web seeking thrills, a dangerous game of cat and mouse. They are drawn to the forbidden, the unknown, like moths to a flame. The allure of the dark web is irresistible to some, a place where the rules of society no longer apply, where anonymity offers a false sense of security. But in this shadowy realm, the stakes are higher than anyone can imagine.
The voice seemed to crackle with a perverse energy, reveling in the horrors it described. It was as if the very act of speaking these dark truths gave it power, a twisted pleasure derived from the fear it instilled. The words hung in the air, heavy and oppressive, each one a dagger aimed at the heart of the listener.
There was a group of friends, They believed they could control the chaos, manipulate the players in this digital underworld. They were confident, perhaps too confident, in their abilities. They saw themselves as puppet masters, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. But the dark web is a place where control is an illusion, and the line between master and pawn is razor thin.
A sense of dread settled over Alex, a feeling that he was no longer just a listener, but a participant in this macabre play. The boundaries between reality and the story he was hearing began to blur, and he felt an inexplicable connection to the characters. It was as if their fate was somehow intertwined with his own, a chilling thought that made his skin crawl.
They created a game, you see, a game where lives were the stakes, where anonymity was both a shield and a curse. The rules were simple, yet the consequences were dire. Each move they made, each decision, carried with it the weight of life and death. They thought they were invincible, hidden behind their screens, but the dark web has a way of revealing the truth.
The image of the empty chair in the room flickered in Alex's mind, replaced by a vision of terrified faces illuminated by the glow of laptop screens. He could almost hear their frantic whispers, the desperate tapping of keys as they tried to outmaneuver their unseen adversaries. The tension was palpable, a living thing that seemed to pulse in the air around him.
They thought they were the masters of the game, but they were nothing more than pawns, destined to be sacrificed on the altar of their own hubris. The game they had created had taken on a life of its own, a malevolent force that fed on their fear and desperation. They had set the pieces in motion, but now they were powerless to stop the inevitable.
The air grew thick with a palpable sense of dread, the weight of unseen eyes pressing down on Alex. He felt a chill run down his spine, a cold, clammy hand that seemed to grip his heart. The shadows in the room seemed to come alive, shifting and twisting in ways that defied explanation. He knew deep down that he was not alone, that something or someone was watching him, waiting for the right moment to strike.